At my least optimistic, I tend to think of democracy as a system where you have the freedom to say what you like as long as nobody listens to you. This problem of the individual, where you can't affect change, or people don't listen to what you have to say, is exacerbated by having a lone voice. The other side of it is, if people actually listen to you, if you're by yourself, then you can easily be marginalised or shut down. This quick little talk is about my experience of discovering the magic of transdisciplinary through my work at the Australian Network for Art and Technology and the type of work we do there. So it's a constant reframing of an organisation or what a network is, and a constant development of how working together, or how to get the most out of working together. So when I think of transdisciplinary, I think of these guys. I think of neurons. Neurons plug in many different aspects of information to become more than the sum of the parts. And if you plug those neurons into a neuronal network, then you get something incredibly complex, like the human mind and consciousness. From my point of view at ANAT, I've tried to build a platform for different people to plug in to get the most out of it, and as many different various people as possible. And from the organisation itself, we try and have an open platform for all the staff to help direct the type of business that ANAT undertakes. And this has meant that at ANAT, people coming to work can actually see the effect and change in their community and the outside world. So coming to work is not about getting paid, although that's part of the fun. Coming to work is actually amplifying your capacity as a citizen in a democracy. So what does this end up happening? What we produce? This is a residency that we had with Nanotech Victoria and an artist called Leah Heiss. So what we do, we bring artists together with science researchers. So Nanotech Victoria had, through their research, discovered a way of delivering insulin through the skin. But working with the artist, they were able to create the delivery system, which was in the form of jewellery. And because artists work differently, they think about the aesthetics, they also think about the cultural impact and the human focus. So it's not just a nice piece of jewellery you wear, it actually gives you a different relationship with your chronic illness. You feel better about your chronic illness, as opposed to something that a constant jabbing reminder of taking your insulin. It's actually something beautiful to wear. So we think of these cross-disciplinary relationships on this spectrum of innovation, where you have, down one end you have invention, and that's where a lot of pure research or art for art's sake lives, and on the other you have innovation. Now innovation, it can be a very boring word, particularly when you're talking about it from, it's the place where the economics value really comes out, and it's about applying pure research to people. But also innovation is the place where you open up all that research, all that great thinking actually gets applied to us. So while there's an economic aspect of innovation, innovation is actually a really important way of unlocking all the knowledge collective knowledge we have now, but also the history of the collective knowledge leading up to it. So in this case, Nanotech Victoria invented something, Leah Heiss applied it to people and brought it along. The thing that we're really missing is bringing that to market so people can actually get value from that and use it in their daily lives. So this also brings me to something I'd like to call the evil robot paradox, mainly because I like robots and I like evil robots as well. Creating a robot is a technology problem, but living with one is a cultural problem. So we're coming to a point in history where technology is becoming an extension of us. And if technology is going to be an extension of us, we require that to be deeply culturally sympathetic. And it's only by bringing the artists together, or in many cases the anthropologist and psychologist, together with the pure technology and science research, do we get something that has that deep cultural sympathy. The other aspect of the evil robot paradox is that we will require our technology to actually be more cultural, more like humans, and then we could end up with having some unsavoury characteristics in our technology. And finally, this has led us to thinking about a project where we have ecology, where we're working with developers, the community that is going to live in those developments, and artists, where we create data representations of data collected in those communities and then fed back to the communities to develop and change behaviour. So there's a constant feedback loop, but in the form of artworks that they've been co-creating with artists. So in my more optimistic mindset, I think of democracies as a place that has a lot of rights for the citizens, but there's an enormous responsibility on all of us to create the world that we want every day, and that's choosing the places that we work, or how we deal with people, and the type of projects that we undertake.